Hi, this is Musa Toure. I'm teaching you how to get loaded for the we have 48 and 53 feet 53-foot trailer, and right now we are dealing with a 53-foot trailer, so there's nothing available. I'm in Ohio right now, and how to get loaded. And just to let you know, we don't have a fifth wheel slider, so I'm gonna show you. And right now, I have a load, this top load, rail, crane steel, like the rail of the crane steel, and must be tarp. So I'm taking it to New York, upstate New York, and for example, sometimes if you're over an axle, what can you do? Like for example, the maximum you can carry for each axle, okay, the front axle is 20,000 pounds. You cannot go above that. If you go under, you're legal. Also, that's including the back too. Um, this is just the center point right now. This is actually is a good example right now. Um, right now, this one doesn't have the stickers. Maybe somebody remove it, or somebody remove it, or the manufacturer just forgot it. But right now, there's actually somebody actually put this marker. So, like for example, if this was not there, the marker, what I would do to how to get loaded, I know how to my center point. What can you do? You gotta count in the front. You gotta know every stay pocket. The stay pocket after they only 2 feet. This one in the front doesn't include. Okay, so you go in the front, then you count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 11 and a half. While you count, if you stay pocket, you gotta understand every stay pocket. Okay, there's 2 feet. Also, you count. I mean, you don't have to count in the back. I mean, but right now we're dealing with 53-foot trailer. 48 is really easy. Okay, all you gotta look at just the signal light. You know what I mean? On the side of the trailer, that's your center. But the 53, you just count the stay pocket and a half, and that's your center point. If it's not there. So, like for example, if you're overweight in for axle, what can you do? Let's say for example you are 21,000, so you're illegal, and you're probably like 16,000 pounds. Doesn't matter, either or, either or. And you're on your drive. Let's say you're 26, okay, and what can you do? You can move the load. Me personally, if I'm like 26 over there, and I'm let's say I'm 21 or whatever, and over here I'm like 7, 17, whatever the case might be. Me personally, I will move it, and I'm like, let's say I'm 48, not 48, but let's say I'm 46,000, the load I have. What I would do, I will probably move it 2.5 feet, so I can be legal. You know what I mean? Or I'll probably move 2 feet. Let's say it's 2 feet, and I can be legal. I'll move the load forward. And some shipper, sometimes when you go to the shipper, they want to argue with you. You know what I mean? You tell me, hey, I want everything. Sometimes you don't got no choice. Sometimes. But let's say, example, your load is not going to cover the whole entire trailer. You know what I mean? What can you do? They'll just tell them to load everything in the center point. You tell them where your center point, okay? And right now we're dealing with 53. I don't have 48. Maybe I'll make a video out of it. But sometimes, let's say example, your load's gonna cover sometimes you don't got no choice. Sometimes you really don't, because sometimes you have a beam. Let's say a beam, 53 foot. Now sometimes they have to load it how it is. But let's say that you got plenty of space in the front of the trailer. I mean, the front of the trailer, the back of the trailer. Tell them to put it in the center point, because if you're you want to do the job the first time. You want to do it right the first time. So if you're overweight, it's your responsibility to go back to the shipper. And if it's like a tarp, you have to take out the tarp, the straps, and everything. You know what I mean? So before, to prevent that from happening, sometimes they will argue with you. The shipper, they will argue. I've been doing this. You tell them you wanted the center point, and they want to argue with you. Well, no, I've been doing it for 30 years. That's what I do all day. Look, if it's over, it's the driver responsibility to take it back to the shipper, then move the load. So you might just do it the first time right, so you don't have to go. That's also cost time consuming. So let's say it took you 4 hours, you know what I mean, to strap and load paddings and everything. You have to take out all that thing. You have to take out the strap and everything, and redo it. We don't have no fifth wheel. We don't have slide tandems. We have stationary. You know what I mean? So, and they will argue with you. So, just get loaded, in the center, and you shouldn't have any question. And Melton policy is every load, should be scaled. That's what Melton policy, But there's some other driver, they've been doing this for quite a long time. So if they really know their load, sometimes they don't scale their loads. But I had a situation before. That's what I was thinking about. I have a situation before. I had to go to the shipper twice to move the load, and everything I load in the center. The center is not perfect. It's not, because I've been in that situation before. I load everything in the center. It was a coil, flat steel, and I was at the over, and I had to go twice. I spent there for 2 days. You know what I mean? Because I was tired. It's time consuming. Take a break, and I loaded everything. Now, to prevent that thing from happening, now if you know you loaded everything the right way and you're still over, look at your scale ticket. Look at your scale ticket really carefully to see what can you do. So I was like 28 that time. Okay, 28 on my drive. On my spare axle, I was like 22, and I loaded everything in the center, but I was still over. So I still got to take out my strap and everything. So what can you do for prevent this from happening? But this happens very rare. If you load everything, it happens to me once. So what can you do? You can, if you're like 22, you are still illegal. What can you do? You can move the load. If there's enough room, you can, on the front, you can move the load about 5 feet, you know what I mean, and you can be legal. So if you have any question, please let me know. All right, thank you.